Good morning. How are you doing today? Good? That's good. Blessed, not stressed. What's today's topic going to be? Well, today's topic is going to be found in Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 24. It reads, "Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, saith the Lord? Do I not fill heaven and earth, saith the Lord?" Now, what does this mean? Well, for starters, this verse reminds me of when Adam and Eve partook of the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil, and when they heard God coming, well, they hid. But he knew where they were. He called out to them in hopes that they would reveal themselves to him, right? And they hid themselves. Why? Well, because they realized that they had messed up. They realized their sin. And they hid. Sometimes I feel like naturally we could be like that as well. Especially if it's something that you've done a lot. For instance, if you deal with a repetitive sin and he's really working on you and it just feels like it's not going away, sometimes, especially like the more you do it, the more you just want to hide, and just because you're just so frustrated, you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. But we have to realize that our feelings aren't what get us anywhere. Because you can be outside in the cold for a moment and be freezing, but step into a warm house and be warm again. Your feelings don't change the temperature outside or inside. The only thing that changes is you. Right? It doesn't change what's right or wrong. So what's the point of this? Why is this verse significant? Well, we, just like Adam and Eve, we got to talk to God at some point. We might as well do it right after we sin. See, God should be the first solution, not the last resort. Whenever we deal with something, especially repetitive sin, it's one thing to make a mistake, it's another to make a bad habit. And oftentimes we make bad habits, or we've had bad habits, and we just had them for so long they just feel like second nature. They don't even feel like a habit. They just feel natural. But when our nature has changed, it's no longer natural, right? Or according to our former nature. See, when we are born again, we have put that old self, that old nature to death, right? Not laying it down for a nap so you can wake it back up again later. No, to death. It is dead. It is not coming back. However, some of us have retained bad habits from our bad nature. And, well, you got to put it down. Put it to death. Offer it up before God, right? Let him take it. He died for you. He died for me. And he died so we don't have to hide. We don't have to run in fear, knowing that, or thinking anything but the truth. Knowing anything but the truth. Knowing anything but him. Right? And so we really just need to be honest with him. Come to him. For instance, a good example of this is with Peter, right? Peter was, always ride or die for Jesus. What I mean by that, he was always willing to do whatever he asked. He's like, all right, Lord, I got you. You need that done? I am there yesterday. You meet me there tomorrow? I'll be there yesterday. He was always going to jump up and do something for God. And I find that we're like that too. Especially when you first start, you're on fire, just like, man, I'll do anything. But he looked at Peter and said, before the rooster crows this day, you are going to deny me 3 times. And Peter looks at Jesus like he's crazy. He says, what? Huh? Why would I do that? I would never do that. And then he does that anyway. And then he realizes at the afterward, he's like, oh snap, Jesus was right. Later on, Jesus reminded him 3 times of something, as if confirming to him that he had been forgiven. Finally, right? Now, what do we need to take from this? What do we need to learn from this? We need to know to him we can go, right? We shouldn't run and hide, but we should go to him, and in him we need to repent and abide.